Okay, so first of all, thank you for giving me this interview. I have to say that I really enjoyed reading your book, and I have never read a self-help book. So this was my first experience with that. And I would like to congratulate you because I think you did a great job connecting with the reader, which is very important for this book. And you really achieved to make the reader trust you, follow your words, and trust me the piece they need so that he or she can be able to change poor behaviors.
Well, thank you for
So,
that. I wasn't expecting that. That's fantastic to hear that that has happened, and that's what you always want to do, I suppose, as an author. I really want to do is to connect to the person who reads the book, who reads the journal. So that's fantastic to hear that. What did you like most about the journal? You should be asking me the questions, but what did you like most about the journal? And then you can ask me the questions.
well, I like the metaphor of changing, of personal changing. That was, in fact, one of the questions. For example, the appearance of the book is also the metaphor of change.
Yeah.
Um, it is the colors are changing every page you read. For example, at the beginning, the theme color is purple, then it turns to red, then to orange, and finally to gold. So I wanted to ask you, for example, if that was on purpose.
Yeah, it was. So we put this is a symbol in the center of it. It was a French designer who actually created this. And I just said, she asked me if she could design the cover, and I said, okay, do whatever you want. And she created that, which was magnificent. And so then we decided to go from, it's the chakra colors. So we went from a kind of a really deep red or burgundy. Red, orange, and yellow was the color for this book. So we went from that kind of deeper color to the kind of the lighter yellow. So it was red, orange, yellow. And then the next journal would be green, red, orange, yellow, green, blue would be the next one. And then indigo and violet for the final journal. Yeah, we're choosing the chakra colors. So and then this color, or this book is about, it's kind of really strong on the body and the mind and the emotions, and then others journals will be about the senses and other different things. So yeah, it was a definite change. Even the lines on the journal, there's lined pages, so the lined pages change from a deeper red color to a lighter yellow color as well. So we're kind of, as the person is transitioning through the book, the transformation is happening for the person. Well done on spotting that. I didn't think that would have been noticed, but yeah, that's what happened. It's a fantastic creation by a team of people. I wrote it, and then after that, everybody else did all the work. Designers decided what they wanted, what they thought would work. And I said, yeah, go run with it, and then the illustrator is Ana Slattery from Dublin, and Anna created absolutely magnificent illustrations. I said, let's do outline illustrations, but she didn't just simply do outline illustrations. She did magnificent works of art, and well done to Anna for that, And then at the very end, just before it went to print, somebody said, the designer said to me, why not have gold foil on it? And I never even thought of gold foil, but that was just the week before it went to print. We changed over to gold foil in the covers, and I think it's really rich, and you have everything about it is luxurious. Luxury cream paper, FSC certified, environmentally friendly. Everything about it is talking about transformation. Our world is changing to eco-conscious, even books, so that's part of it as well. So yeah.
Great. So to start with, could you tell the readers what the book is about in case they don't know it?
The book tells the story of a child being born in Dublin city. So, and it kind of brings the reader into this moment, almost a moment in the past. It brings you back to the past, and all these things are happening in the world while this child is being born. And it's kind of like what the mother wants for her child, for her baby, and what her daughter, and what the father wants for his daughter, and thinking of what will be what will the world be like for that person, for that child. And then it kind of asks the reader, what was the world like when you were born? What were you born into? So if you were Irish, if you were Spanish, if you were Ukrainian, if you were German, what did you actually born? What was happening in the world at that time, and what was the experience of your parents, and what happened? You know, because that can have a massive impact on the person you become. And then you have intergenerational issues. So do we kind of talk about intergenerational issues? It's like, what did your parents carry from their parents that they're handing down to you? So they may not have had the best coping skills to deal with stress, and then you don't learn them because they didn't teach you them. So this is a book that kind of says, well, if you didn't learn the certain things you didn't learn along the way, because nobody's perfect, no parent is perfect. If there are certain things you didn't learn along the way, then you can actually learn them here in the journal. And then those things can help you to change your life. And it brings you through different steps of family relationships and things that can happen, and how to overcome those situations, negative situations. So it's told as a story, but also it opens the reader up to seeing how things can go wrong and how they can be corrected or made better again.
Great. And what was the inspiration to create Ethel, the character of Ethel?
I think when you're, let me think. I think as a psychologist, when you're working with a client, it's not just the moment that you see them, that moment when they're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever it is. They come with a bundle of moments, a whole lifetime of moments, whatever those moments are. And so it's not just today when you walk into the therapy room that this is the problem. The problem may have been happening for 20 years and you haven't been able to overcome it, or it may be that you learned ways of dealing with things that weren't positive, weren't good or healthy for you. So a lot of things that start like problems that can start very early in childhood, and then they can keep going until you actually say, stop, I can't do this anymore, I need to change something here, you know. So I think if you just bring a child in at that young age of Ethel being born into the world and allow her to grow up, you can show the reader how many things can influence you in your life, negatively or positively, to bring you to the place that you're in today, you know, and how you can, from this moment, then if you know your past, you can change your future, you know. You can't, you know, I don't believe anybody can live in the present until they've dealt with their past. You know, there's a lot of people go, stay in the moment, stay in the present, and all of that, and that's great if you can do it, but you can't do it unless if your past is troubling you. So once you deal with your past, then you can be in the present. So this book shows you how different things can happen and what you can do to work through the different problems that can occur in a person's life, and they happen for everybody at different levels.
Yeah, I think Ethel is a great source for the reader to identify with her.
Yeah, and that was the purpose of her being there, so that, you know, that the reader could know that this is how something can go wrong, and it can happen to anybody, and this is how you can change and to give yourself the best possible life you can have. Yeah.
Okay, so another question is, who is this book for? What is the target audience of this book?
Actually, that's a great question, because my book has sold out in all the shops it's been in, so restocking on a continuous basis. And when I've asked the shops who's been buying the books, and the shops have all told me it's really strange because from teenagers to older adults are buying the book. It is relatable to so many age groups that it's not specific to any particular age group, which is fantastic. So I would say young adults to older adults, all the way through, because there's something there for everyone. Because the book is laid out in intergenerational too. There's generations of a family within the story. So different people from different generations of one family could take something from the story. But also it says to the reader that from birth, from the day you're born nearly, there's a set of circumstances that exist and that you can grow from, or you can thrive, or you can not thrive. You can go backwards almost, depending on the situation that exists. So it's telling, no matter who the reader is, at any stage in your life, something can happen that can influence the rest of your life. So you could be further along the journey of life, or you could be just at that moment. And the book will work for both age groups. You know what I mean? So it has, the shops have been saying that it's a wide range of people have been coming in, wide range of age groups. So that's a wonderful thing to know. It's fantastic. Yeah.
So how did you decide to write a self-help book? Are you yourself a reader of this genre of books, for example?
No, do you know what? I kind of, there's nothing out there that looks at body, mind, and spirit. So so it's a lot of, like, a lot can be, you get books that are one thing or another, you know. So this one has I try to get the complete circle. So I'm a biochemist, so I've learned about the body, and I'm also a psychologist, so I've learned about the mind, and I've taught meditation for years. So I have done all of those things, and then to combine them together gives the reader a more complete tool to support themselves, to change whatever they want to change in their lives. I think it's something that every tool that I've used that is in the journal, I've used myself, and those tools work because I know they have. I piloted everything on myself. I practiced meditation for since I was a very young child, and I also I added a QR code at the back of the journal so people can click on with their phone and download a guided meditation. So it supports people at whatever level they're at to do whatever they need to do to get wherever they want to be. So I had a lot of traumas in my own childhood to overcome. I've used all the tools in the book. It's all there. And I think when you have done so much, you also have the education behind it as well. Then it's important to give it to the world as well, I think. So
and what makes this book different from other self-help books, for example?
I think this book is different from other self-help books in that it has the education in terms of, it has the psychological techniques that have been evidence-based, they're researched, you know, so they know that they're working. So in that sense, it's not this worked for me and I'm going to give it to you. They're actually tools that are used by psychologists to support people to change their life. So it's evidence-based research and evidence-based tools. So the other thing about it is that it comes in at a very deep level. It kind of gets to the point really quickly. It starts at that really deep level. It can be intense at times. It can be cathartic for a person to write out whatever they need to write out, and it can release so many emotions and so many thoughts and so much from their system. It's solution focused. It's kind of saying, okay, this is the issue and this is what we need to do to heal from that issue. So it's very much It's clear, it's concise, and the tools or the strategies to overcome different things are kept as simple as possible, so to be effective, so simple and effective, you know. So that's what it has, and that's what it brings to the table. And I think, you know, this journal is the price of maybe 5 cups of takeaway coffee. And you think, okay, well, you can go for this week, you can buy 5 cups of coffee, takeaway coffee, or you can buy a journal that could potentially transform your whole life. Which do you choose? And it's about value then. What do you value? Do you value your life, and do you value your future and the possibilities that lie ahead? And if you do, then it's really important to purchase it, because I think many books the books are powerful. The written word is a powerful thing. And if it's only 2 sentences sometimes in one book can change your whole life, because it resonates with you, and that can change your life. And I think if it's even, I think there'd be more than 2 sentences, but I think if it's even 2 sentences in the journal that change your life, well, then that's well worth purchasing, because it's so important to give yourself the best life you can possibly have.
Yeah. And I think the mix between the meditative exercises and the story of evil is also very unique for the book.
Yeah, you don't find that in books at all. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You don't find that mix. It's rare enough to see it. Yeah, but yeah, you're right.
And my last question is more related to you as an author. What is the process of writing this book? How long did it take you to write it?
This book took a good number of years. I wrote this when I was 25, and I parked it, and then I came back to it when I was 29, and then I parked it again, and then we came back to it more recently with converting it into a journal from 1 book into 3-part journals. There are a lot of techniques, there are a lot of tools in it, and so there's a lot of thinking involved in getting that right for the reader, because you want to give the reader the best possible chance to transform their life. So when the transformation journal was being written, I was always conscious of what is the most effective, the simplest and most effective way of helping a person achieve what they need to achieve. So there was a lot of thinking, a lot of research, a lot of piloting different techniques. Even I've taught a number of meditative groups, you know, over the years, and in the meditations then you listen to you're almost piloting it on a group of people, and you listen to them and you say, well, did that work? I couldn't do that piece. And then you improve your guided meditation. So the guided meditations on the back of the book, that has taken a while to just even formulate, because is it working? Is it effective? Are you able to do it? And you're constantly questioning those people who are there with you in a meditative play. When you're teaching meditation, are they able to do this? Have I simplified it enough? Is it possible? Make it easier. If it's not easy to do, then there's something I'm doing wrong, you know. So there's a lot of work went into that piece of formulating it so that it just works for the reader. So and it's selling very well, so it must be working, it must be resonating with people, which is great.
So I guess there are going to be more parts of this book.
There are part 2 and part 3. So let's see. But first of all, we need to sell as many part 1s as possible. So yeah, it's fantastic to be able to release this journal. It's fantastic that it has a team effort. It's incredible that it's been translated to both Irish and Spanish now, and those versions will be out in March 2023. And I'm so excited to see those. And for us to have book launches in different parts of Europe. That'll be great fun. So yeah, it's been a journey, and it's been an incredible journey.
Great. So that would be all. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maria.